5 of the world's most powerful agencies recently joined forces to address one of the most frightening trends of recent times. The Five Eyes Alliance has taken an extraordinary step to handle the rising threat of youth radicalization. This is a reality that is as shocking as arduous. People as young as 12 years old are being pulled into the dark world of terrorism and extremism. As stated by the Australian Security Intelligence Organization, nearly 20% of their counter-terrorism cases now involve minors. These aren't just statistics, but are lives that are forever altered, families destroyed, and communities that are left in fear. So what is powering this destructive trend? How are these extremists marking our children right in front of our eyes? Most importantly, question, what can we do as parents, educators, and as a whole society to put this to an end? In our video today, we'll unravel the stories, discover the strategies of the Five Eyes Partnership, and rejoinder the critical question related to this developing threat. Because it is a matter of our youth, and when it comes to keeping them safe, the stakes couldn't be higher. But what is the Five Eyes Alliance, and why is it important in striking youth radicalization? Five Eyes. This may sound like something straight from a movie, but this is something real and one of the most high-powered intelligence networks you have ever heard of. So let's first discuss what exactly the Five Eyes Alliance is and why it is significant in this matter. This is an exceptional alliance between the intelligence agencies of Australia, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and New Zealand, which was originally formed during the World War II to share intelligence signals. Later, it was grown into one of the most enlightened intelligence-sharing networks in the world. Jointly, these nations work to fight against global threats, from cyber attacks to terrorism. The reach of Five Eyes makes it so powerful. Each country in this alliance contributes with its intelligence, expertise, and resources, creating a web of monitoring and analysis which covers the world. But this is not limited to tracking dangerous individuals. It's about understanding evolving threats and taking synchronized actions. Recently, for the first time, the Five Eyes have come together to address an unusual challenge: the radicalization of youth. Why is that so? Because this issue isn't just related to one nation, but to the whole world. By contributing their knowledge and issuing a public report, Five Eyes send a clear message. Stopping youth terrorism isn't just their responsibility, but everyone's. The question prevails: are extremists targeting young people? Sounds unimaginable, doesn't it? But this is happening, and it's alarming. So how are these groups managing to influence our youth, and why are minors mainly vulnerable to radicalization? The extremist groups have adapted to the modern digital world. They're using social media apps, chatbots, and gaming forums to spread their ideology. Platforms like TikTok, Discord, and Telegram have become breeding grounds for ferocious propaganda, especially crafted to appear catchy and relatable to their younger audiences. These groups are experts in manipulation. They use memes, videos, and even jokes to normalize violence and hate. Minors are particularly at risk due to their emotionality and online habits. They often lack the analytical skills to identify extremist agendas for what it is: propaganda. And this combines with a sense of inquisitiveness, a need for belonging, and even annoyance with personal or societal issues, and you have a perfect recipe for vulnerability. These examples from Australia will send you chills down the spine. A 16-year-old boy radicalized online shares violent content, praises mass shooters, and even plans for mass killing. Or a 14-year-old who threatened a school shooting, collected weapons, and shared an extremist range of vision. These aren't some confined cases. They're part of a booming trend, nourished by the accessibility of extremist material online. But this isn't just a digital problem, nevertheless. Several minors are involved in a mix of online and in-person radicalization, which makes it even more difficult to distinguish and prevent. It's a harsh reality that demands attention from all, teachers, parents, and the whole community in the same way. So, what exactly are the Five Eyes doing to battle against this alarming rise in youth radicalization? They have taken an extraordinary step by publishing their first ever joint public report, Young People and Violent Extremism, a call for collective action. The report isn't just an ordinary statement of concern, but it's a provoking call for global action. Here are some of the important steps they're taking. They've joined forces to release a public document which highlights the severity of youth radicalization. In this report, they've called for a whole-of-society approach, urging everyone to take responsibility, intensifying their surveillance of online platforms where extremist content is being nourished. Platforms such as Telegram, Discord, and TikTok are being closely monitored, as these have become hotspots for spreading propaganda and engaging young minds. By pooling their case studies and resources, the Five Eyes identify common patterns and tactics used by extremist groups to target young people. This sort of collaboration helps every country to address this issue more productively. They aren't just monitoring, but taking action. As an example, ASIO has disrupted many plots involving minors, and counter-terrorism teams have arrested and charged several individuals with offenses that ranged from advocating terrorism to planning violent attacks. Their report highlights the need for prevention over punishment, which includes working with mental health professionals, schools, and social services to mediate before the youth becomes fully radicalized. Programs that work towards fostering analytical thinking and digital knowledge are also encouraged. The Five Eyes is driving tech companies to take more responsibility for removing extremist content. This could include banning and flagging harmful materials that are in easy accessibility to youth. By taking these measures, this alliance is indicating a shift from preventive measures to proactive strategies. They are giving a clear message: radicalization isn't unavoidable, but with the right actions, we can keep our youth safe and build a safer future. So now we have a bigger question. What's being done to put an end to this? And how, as a society, can we play our part? Bringing youth radicalization to an end isn't a small task that agencies can handle alone. That's why the Five Eyes Alliance has requested a whole-of-society approach. This means each person, from parents, teachers, health professionals, and even tech companies, should play their part in protecting youth. Intelligence agencies such as ASIO are leveling up their game by closely observing online spaces and disrupting any sort of extremist content. From 2020, Australia's joint counter-terrorism teams have accused at least 20 minors with terrorism-related offenses, some as young as 12. But enforcement is only a part of the solution, not the whole solution. The formidable obstacle lies in prevention. That's where teachers, parents, and community leaders come in. Parents are being advised to observe their kids' online activity, watch out for warning signs like sudden changes in behavior, and have open conversations related to the dangers of extremist content. Schools and teachers play a significant role too by encouraging critical reasoning and teaching students how to identify misinformation. Also, mental health professionals and social services are coming forward to offer support for vulnerable youth before they fall into this trap of radicalization. For example, through counseling sessions and community programs, we can provide young people with the sense of purpose and belonging they seek, in extremist groups apart from that. And then we have the tech angle. Apps like Discord, Telegram, and TikTok must take greater responsibility for clinging down on extremist content. It's a huge ask, but limiting the spread of harmful material online is an important part of the fight. Briefly, this isn't just about government action. It's about creating a safety net that catches young people before they fall too far. The Five Eyes has given the warning, but real change will require collective efforts. If we don't act sensibly now, this will be devastating for our youth. Because ultimately, protecting our next generation from the grasp of extremism is about more than security. It's about saving their future and ours. But the question is, Are we ready to step up against this?